She entered his routine without asking permission, without announcing herself, occupying spaces with silence and control. She chose the time, the place, the duration, and then disappeared before any gesture could turn into habit. He, used to going unnoticed, quickly realized it wasn't by chance, but he also understood that nothing there was an invitation. Her gaze never pleaded, it assessed. The pauses said more than words, and every approach was followed by a calculated retreat. Around them, people had already decided the script. She tested, he waited. She commanded, he waited for his chance. When someone hinted at money, help, advantage, he felt the weight of judgment before any choice was even made. And in that first boundary not crossed, something broke in the air, because no one expected restraint. If it were you there, would you be able to stay still when everyone has already cast you as the one who will fall? The situations became more public, less ambiguous, as if the whole world were participating in the experiment. Invitations appeared with doors half open, opportunities came with watchful eyes, and every move he made was observed as advance proof of guilt. She kept the same cold rhythm, offering closeness without access, warmth without promise, attention without surrender. When a favor seemed implied, he refused without a speech, and the silence that followed was more aggressive than a direct accusation. Comments circulated in low tones, smiles turned ironic, and the idea that he was there for what he could gain became consensus. No one asked what he wanted, only what he would do when the temptation was enough. Would you also wait for the mistake just to feel right? The exposure came in the form of public embarrassment. A short and cruel scene where he was placed in the wrong spot before everyone. A cutting remark, a laugh a little too loud, the clear suggestion that he was there out of self-interest. He could have defended himself, could have used her closeness as a shield, but he chose silence. And silence sounded like a confession to those who had already judged him. Then she spoke, revealing who she was, how much she had, how much she had always known, dismantling the collective narrative in seconds. There was no prize, no embrace, no validation, only the mirror held up to everyone, showing that the common desire was never justice, but his fall. When did you realize you were rooting for the mistake? She stepped away as she had entered, without further explanations, leaving behind discomfort and the naked truth. He was left with nothing but his own dignity, and that seemed far too little for those who had expected a spectacle. The environment, once confident, now avoided eye contact, because judgment had been exposed on every face. There was no happy ending, only coherence, and the uncomfortable realization that character does not earn applause when it frustrates cruel expectations. If this story left you uneasy, it's because at some point you also took part in the silent tribunal. Comment on what you felt when you realized that, share it so others can face the same discomfort, and subscribe to continue witnessing stories that don't soothe, they confront. Better is the patient than the proud. Better is one who rules his spirit than one who takes a city. Proverbs 16:32.